Well, I pressed the button accidentally, so we're live a little early. So we're live a little early. And there's my volume. There, I got rid of that. So, just get done doing a bunch of stuff out in the garage. But we'll wait for people to come in. I know I'm early, 6 minutes early. This is the process. As you can see, it's still going, still cooking. So, still setting up a little bit, so just hang on a minute while I do that. Set you up here for a minute. Let's just... There we go. Good, it stays. Alright, well, thanks for joining me tonight. This is the results. Still got 6 minutes until people come in. I'm just setting up, waiting for people to show up. There might be some more people in tonight because I've posted this on YouTube, on Facebook. I had a discussion after the video last night about this for some folks, and there seemed to be quite a bit of interest. So I mentioned that I would invite people in that forum to come in and watch the video as well. So we'll see if any of them show up in 5 minutes. So while I'm setting up, feel free to send a chat through, say hi. Probably just my kids are watching. Hi, Riley and Ricky. All right. Is everybody ready for the storm? Big storm, or has it already hit you, or if you're in the midsection of the country? That's sure. I don't know quite where to set this, so we'll look around for a minute. So we'll do some washing of the So quite a few people have actually done electrolysis. I was surprised. A lot of people use it to restore their metal, their rusty metal. Works pretty well. I made quite a mess here. Don't know if you can see. I guess it shows up pretty good in the camera. Down through the bucket, it's settled out a little bit. A lot of rust on the very bottom. All of that stuff. Of course, some of that's from the can too. You can see how the can, it's the sacrificial anode, how it's really seems to have sacrificed itself. It's really pulled the rust away from the clevis piece I'm restoring. About 3 more minutes and hopefully some folks will show up. And if you're just joining me now, I'm going to be sharing the results of the process here. At a little after 9 o'clock. Again, I hit the button early. I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else. It's my little workshop benchtop desk. And this is quite a small project, but it's a fun little project nonetheless. Two minute warning. So there's 2 people here. Not sure if you can give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're actually here. That would be nice. Wonder if one of them is me. Maybe there's only one person here. Guess the quality's a little lacking. Hey, Daryl Foss. I'm a little bit later than last night. I hope you don't have a commute in the morning. I know I was on a weeknight last night. But this is the process. Still cooking. Give people a couple more minutes to get in here, and then we'll do the big reveal on how this worked. I think I got rid of some rust. Looks like a lot of activity went on in this little bucket. It's run just over 24 hours. I did stop it once halfway through and flip the pieces over because they're sitting on a brick, and I wasn't sure if that rust would come off the back side of that. Yeah, well, I'm not retired, but I just had the time off. Different work schedules, I guess. So, let's see. I invited people. We had a discussion on the Farmall Cub owners. I think it was a Farmall Cub owners forum on Facebook last night after last night's video. And there seemed to be quite a bit of interest, so I invited people from there to come over. And not sure if they will or not. I sent the invite, and we'll find out. If not, they can watch it later. So it's 9:01. I think it's time to look and see what we got. So here is just the pin. Well, first, we're still powered up. I think to be safe, I ought to unplug it. There. No more power. Alright, I think everything is attached. There's the pin itself. And the actual clevis part itself. It looks like a lot of the rust did come off. But let's see how much rust came off. Put a little. Looks like there's still some red paint on. Yeah, most of the rust did come off. Let's put a little more water in there. Took it right down to bare metal there. I don't know if you can see that. Let's give it a little Scotch Brite and see what happens. And you can see a lot of the original red paint, I guess, from there. Some of the bare metal. don't see much rust on it, if any at all. All the rust seems to have disappeared. Which is really awesome. So today, while I was waiting for this to get done, I decided to do a little work on the Farmall Cub, if anybody's interested. And I posted a picture of it over on my Instagram account, OPT Video. I had originally had my Cub set at its widest position, and spent the afternoon up until just before supper putting it at its narrowest position, because I noticed that with the blade, the tires actually stuck out on either side of the blade, so I would be running over snow that I hadn't plowed. So I didn't think that was quite right. So today I, for the first time ever, narrowed the Cub, or narrowed a Cub. I hadn't done that before, not to all four wheels. There. Just put a little more water in. So somebody just joined, and what's going on is I just took the clevis out of my mixture, my electrolysis process, and I cooked for over just about 24 hours, and I flipped it once because you can see there's a brick down in there that it was sitting on. And right now I'm just rinsing off what's the black stuff that's on it. That's magnetite. It's a coating that's formed. So all the rust left this, and there's no rust left on this at all now. That color that you see is some old red paint, the original red paint. What happened was the rust left there, and you can see some bare metal. Took it right down to the bare metal. Bare metal peeking through everywhere. So this piece there wasn't a speck of it that wasn't crispy rust. I call it crispy rust. And I thought electrolysis would be the perfect way to get that rust off, and it worked really well. I'm pleased with it. So now we've got the let's take this out, cut that off a little bit. Now we've got the actual pin itself. Of course, you know, if I wasn't filming this, I would be using two hands to scratch this, or scrub this better. There, all the rust came off of this too. Oops, I'll show you. It's pitted, so it doesn't get rid of the rust damage, but it gets rid of every little speck of rust. You know, so you save a lot of the metal. If you were to wire brush this or use sandpaper or something, you'd lose a lot of the metal too. If that's not that important to you, then that's fine. Of course, you know, a clevis, what's a clevis pin really cost? A couple bucks. $4 maybe at Tractor Supply. So there's the pin itself, right down to the metal. That next to the clevis, the flexible clevis. This allows the 54A plow to float over the ground a little better. And my electrolysis process took all the rust off, right down to the bare metal. Didn't leave a speck of rust on this piece whatsoever. Any color that you see there is actually red paint from the original factory color. And the black that you see is a magnetite coating that actually is added in the process during the electrolysis. And that black stuff will never rust. Puts a pretty nice protective coating on the metal. So now the fun part that I like the best is to see how badly the cans deteriorated, or my sacrificial anodes. There it goes. So actually it didn't do too bad this time, but you can see that it collected all the rust from that clevis, and it migrated right to the sacrificial anode. It's just coated. It's hard to believe there's that much rust there. Well, let's look at the other one. There's just as much rust and crap on that one as well. So I use the tin cans. The tin cans seem to work just as well. Some people use rebar or other mild steel. You have to be careful not to use anything with chromium in it, because that will really give you some bad off-gassing or some potentially explosive off-gassing. Wouldn't recommend that. I've never had that problem, but so let's turn it back over to, I would say that this was a success. I'm going to, I might scrub that a little bit better in a while off camera, but there's no rust left, so I'm happy. I'll paint that up a little later, probably after the video, and then I'll paint my 2 shoes for the plow. I picked those up at TM Tractor as well. And then I'll put those on the plow tomorrow or the next day. Sunday, we're supposed to get a really big snowstorm. They said, I think 14 to 22 inches. So I'm kind of anxious to see how the Cub's going to handle that. I've never plowed snow before, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to do it I'm going to have to do it at different times, not do it all at once. So let's put me back on, and I'll be open for any questions people may have, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I did today on my Cub. Hi, it's me. Whoops, back again. There we go. Hopefully that will stay. So today, let's turn that light off. There we go. So today I spent the better part of the afternoon readjusting the width of my tires on the Cub. I hadn't done that before, and I ran into a few problems. Mainly the jack I was using is an old 1800s house jack, so it's like a screw auger one that, and it's all greased up, and the grease was cold. It was probably mid-20s out today, and it was turning hard, but I got it up, and then I realized I just planned to turn the tires, swap them from side to side, and when I did that, the weights were on the wrong side of the rim, and they wouldn't clear the hub. So I had to take off at that point I realized I had to put the tire weights on the other side of the rim, or the other side of the rim. So I have a spare set of weights that have been on a shelf for probably a year and a half now, and they're painted up nice, and been looking for an opportunity to put those on something. So the ones that were on the Cub originally, when I first got it, were faded. They had no color whatsoever. They almost were pink. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to swap out the newer weights, painted weights, with the old ones. So I took off the old ones and put on the new ones, or the newer painted ones. So that meant I was manhandling 4 of the rear wheel weights, which weigh each in excess of 150 pounds, not counting the weight of the tire and the rim. So I'm a little tired. Did that by myself. It was a straightforward process. There's nothing really that requires much brain power about that, just common sense. So it was a good time. Just took a while, and then you have to worry about lining up the hub, the lug nuts afterwards. And the first tire, I set it back up, and it lined up perfectly first try. And when I went around to the other side, the wheel didn't fit up against the tractor just right, because there was a step there that I had to get up into the seat, and that was sticking out up against the tire. So I had to take off the step, and so now I have to. It's awkward to climb up into the tractor. But I got that tire on, and actually adjusting the fronts were a lot easier than I had expected. They slid right over to the first setting really easily. So now my Cub is a lot narrower. I think it's the narrowest that it can be. And so that's what I did today. And to be honest, I did drop the plow out into the driveway to see how it would work. And at that time it was pretty dark out, and I just had the floodlights, so it wouldn't have made for a good video. But had a little taste of plowing. It's been spitting snow all day, so there's probably an inch of snow. And to video something like that anyway, all I'd hear was, negative comments about how little snow I was pushing around. So I'm going to save the videoing of snow plowing until I get some plowable snow. So anyway, that's about all I have for tonight. And I was planning to make a video of plowing in the big snowstorm. I guess they call it Snowstorm Harper. So we're supposed to get up to 22 inches of snow. So we'll do it in stages. So I imagine it will make for enough video to make probably a 20-minute video. And that will be part 5 of my rust to Farmall red restorations of the 54A plow, grader plow. And that will complete the series. And if you've watched any of the series so far, then you're probably anxiously waiting for that one. So if there aren't any questions, I'm probably getting ready to wrap it up. This was just an update on the electrolysis analysis, or the results, revealing the results of my 24-hour electrolysis on the clevis. Came out pretty good. Down to bare metal. No rust left. Go to Facebook or my Instagram. You can see some of the earlier before pictures of this. And it was light orange, crispy brown. So, and the little pin itself also went right down. All the rust is off of that too. So appreciate you coming in. Daryl, go to bed, get some sleep, have a good weekend. I don't know if you're watching the Patriots, but I am. Hope they win. See ya. Bye-bye.